So it is July, which means it's time for the iOS public betas to come out. And this year we're at iOS 17 and that public beta just came out. And I've been using it on my iPhone 14 Pro Max for just about 2 days now, and I have some thoughts. Now, before I get into my 5 favorite things that I found the most useful and the most kind of productive, I want to talk about this update as a whole and my thoughts on it. Last year with iOS 16, Apple threw a ton of new features at us, and they were new things we've never seen before, and with that comes bugs. It comes an incomplete ecosystem. And this year with iOS 17, we got a lot of new things, but we got mostly updates to older things. Stuff that's pre-existing that had updates to bring it into kind of the ecosystem that iOS 16 ultimately built. Now, as we get into the 5, there's plenty more, but these are the 5 I used really in the last 2 days the most. The first being interactive widgets. Finally, interactive widgets is something that I find very useful, and the fact that I can have, for example, reminders on the homepage in a widget, and if I want to complete something, all I do is click complete and I don't even have to go into the app, really is a versatile way to take a step away from the process. The same with Apple Home as a widget. I can turn on my lights in my bedroom from one tap of my finger, and it is ultimately just a smoother process. The next is iPhone standby mode, and this mode I really wish they brought to the iPad with iPadOS 17, but they didn't, and that's a story for a different time. But it's on the iPhone, and for me, I have my MagSafe charger across from my bed, and I always would just plop my phone on there so I didn't have it next to me for various reasons of always grabbing my phone and scrolling, whatever that is, just trying to disconnect. But I have it across from me, and it would always go on there and just lock, and you'd have your dim screen and you'd kind of see the time. But with this, all you do is you plop it onto your MagSafe, it clicks in, and then you turn it sideways, and from there you have all these options of basically a clock. And for me, even in the tech age we're in, I miss having just a clock. But I really like this. I like what it is right now, and I like the possibility of the future of it. So I'm really excited about this one. Next up is contact posters. And this is one that I didn't think would be that beneficial, but after trying it and test calling myself and just seeing how it works, it isn't that it's beneficial, it's just cleaner with the UI, and it matches what iOS 16 brought with the lock screen. And it kind of shows an incompleteness in a lot of the other apps and the possibilities that a lot of the other apps have. So when you do this mode, you go into your contacts and then you go to the contact poster. You can customize the person calling you and their contact just like the lock screen. And it brings it full circle. It makes it feel like the UI in iOS 16 and 17 mesh a lot better. But we are on 17, and this brings me back to my point that they're taking things that already exist and making those things better or other things better in conjunction with it. This is just another example. The next is messages. Messages finally got an overhaul, and it looks really good. The first is typing. Typing feels a lot smoother. It feels a lot faster when it's correcting words. When you're swiping across the screen to create words, it feels a lot faster when you miss the key and it's auto-correcting your words, and it's a lot more accurate. That's what I've noticed is the accuracy. It's just a lot better. The next thing I want to talk about within messages is dictation, and dictation got a lot better. And really what has gotten better is how accurate the words type out to what you're saying. And then finally on the left, there's a new way we can grab photos, throw stickers in. And it's not that there's a lot new to it, it's just a cleaner UI, and it makes messages look like it blends in with a lot of the other new features that were introduced last year and really updated this year. And then finally, Siri got better. Finally. Siri came out a long time ago, and since it first came out, there wasn't much updates to it. One of the new things is you can say either Siri or Hey Siri. So you can say just Siri now. But what it does is it pauses for a second. So right now I'm saying it, but it's not triggering anything. And then once you're in Siri, it's a lot faster. You're able to ask it the weather. You can say, what's it gonna be tomorrow? What's it gonna be the rest of the week? And you can just do a lot more. But it's nice that there's a little bit of effort that they're throwing into Siri right now and showing that they're gonna make it better over time. And as we get closer to Apple Vision Pro coming out, something that almost relies on Siri, it's gonna have to improve quite a bit. So I'm glad that they're starting now and making some headway on making Siri ultimately better, because that's really what we all want. We want it to live up to what Google Home is, and I do like Google Home a lot more, but that's a different story for a different time. But those are my top 5 features with iOS 17, the public beta of that. It'll come out in the full version when the iPhone 15 comes out in September. So I'm excited I get to test this for some time. Let me know in the comments if you guys want a review of iPadOS 17, watchOS 10, whatever it is. I have them all right now, and I'm going through the test of it right now, and I have some thoughts on both of them. But with that, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see some other public betas that Apple put out. Thanks for all the love, all the support. I appreciate it more than you know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.